Hey yo, what's goody? So, this channel is going to be all about relationships, true stories, and anything real. So, if you're not ready for that type, then I suggest you don't listen. No, but seriously, subscribe and like if you do want to listen to these things. Let's go. So, for this first podcast, I'm going to be talking about a true story. It's about two girlfriends that have been dating for about 9 months. And the female is saying that her girlfriend has been ignoring her and ignoring the quarantine to attend orgies. Okay, let's see how this pans out. Okay, so this is gonna take a lot for me to unpack. A little bit of context. Been dating my 19-year-old girlfriend, I'm 22 years old by the way, for 9 months now. She's bi, and I'm still discovering myself a bit. It's been a good relationship aside from occasional arguments about my religious values. I was raised in a Catholic, and I prefer to save myself till marriage. We fooled around a bit, but nothing too much. I hadn't really dated anyone before, and she really got me out of my shell. She's a bit of a private person, and I always assumed that she was an introvert, like me. Didn't think she was intentionally keeping secrets. Ooh, let's see how this goes. Secrets are never good in a relationship, guys. Just be honest, please, for God's sake. Anyways, for the last 5 months or so, she's been going to group therapy sessions. It made me worried that she might be depressed. Sometimes I'd like to ask if I can go with her, but she'd get defensive and say it's too personal for her. I respected her wishes, but I felt shut out. Sometimes I noticed her texting members from the group. It was like she had developed a new friend circle that I wasn't allowed to meet. Guys, there's nothing wrong with that. Your girlfriend or significant other is allowed to have friends that you are not in contact with. What is the freaking... Anyways, that's just my opinion. But let me continue. So, she goes to these meetings on a bi-weekly basis. The meetings were still happening during quarantine, which surprised me. We live in the UK and things are pretty strict here. Only strange thing I noticed in the past was a weird phone call I got from her. Heard some heavy breathing, like she was suffocating. I freaked out and I started screaming for her to answer. She said, "Pocket dial, oops," and hung up. I made her explain it to me when she got back, and she said it was a super emotional session. That's weird. Like, if I had my significant other pocket dial me and they were heavy breathing like that, like I would be kind of worried. So in that case, like I understand where their worry is coming from. But let's continue. Fast forward to this week. We had a fight about sex, specifically my hesitation on it, and I told her it doesn't help that she is so distant. We started to calm down a bit, and she asked what she could do to open up. I said going to one of her counseling meetings might be a start. But she got very defensive. Told me I was being too invasive and shouldn't give her ultimatums. I wasn't trying to force anything. It was just a suggestion. And I'd never want to make her uncomfortable. We really didn't talk after that argument, and things were just getting worse and worse. Oh my goodness, it seems like there's a big disconnection between you guys. And why do you keep pressuring her about going to that stupid meeting? Like, she obviously doesn't want you to go. Why do you keep mentioning it? It's like you want to start an argument. Look, if your significant other doesn't want you somewhere, why are you placing yourself somewhere where you do not want to be, where you are not wanted? It's like, why are you trying to be around people that don't want you to be there? Like, just stay in your place and everything will work out perfectly. But let's continue the story. Last night, she went to one of her group meetings. I decided to follow her. Oh my God. Really? I know this sounds really shitty of me, but after that pocket dial and everything going on, I had to know what was up. I thought maybe I could speak to a head counselor or something. Yeah, right, you wanted to fucking snoop. Anyway, I wanted to tell her I loved her and I was worried. Maybe we could figure this out together. Yeah, right, come on, give me a break. Anyway, I follow her to this old looking community center. Nothing weird, right? She goes in and I start to second guess what I'm doing. Think it over in my head for a good 15 minutes or so, and then I decide to step in. I'm pretty tense as I do this. I'm feeling so much guilt. That should be a sign. Walking through a hallway, and then I hear a faint music coming from one of the rooms. I figured it must be a social event. As I walk toward it, I hear music and noise coming from other rooms. I open the door and briefly notice some people going at it. What? Okay, I have to keep reading. Embarrassed, I quickly close the door and go to check one of the other rooms. I gradually open another door and peer in carefully, even more confused as I see people sprawled across the floor having sex. What the fuck? Okay, you probably were right in feeling the way you were feeling, because that is some seriously crazy shit going on. I think the floor had mattresses on it, and at the back of the room, I saw her grinding against some stranger. I was in shock and darted out of the building. I don't think she saw me. Okay, at this point, what the fuck do? You just found the love of your life having basically an orgy in front of other people, and they've been hiding this from you even though you told them that you wanted to see what they were up to, and then calling it going to therapy. What? I guess orgies are it's very therapeutic for some people. I don't know. I kind of am weirded out about that. That's pretty weird. But let's see where this goes. I've been typing this out over and over, trying to come to terms with it. I haven't spoken to her since she got back. She probably thinks we're not talking because of our fight. I don't even know who I can talk to about this, and I feel so isolated not being able to talk about this with anyone, and not even her. I'm kind of freaking out about her not social distancing. She's the only person I have physical contact with, and this unnerves me now. How can I approach this subject with her? Is there any way I can talk to her without her feeling spied on? Are you serious? She's cheating on you and you're worried about her feeling spied on? You're blaming yourself for something that she's doing to you that's hurting you. And you're blaming yourself. That's the first thing that you have to take into consideration, is that this isn't your fault. She brought this upon her because she was being sneaky. So people who get sneaky get spied on. So they continue talking about what's the best way to resolve the tension between her values and the partner's values and the romantic needs. And then she continues saying, I know this is a lot, but so much is going on around in my mind right now, and I feel like my trust has been violated. I don't hate her for this. It's just a lot to process. Any advice would be really appreciated. And she's also said an update. It's still very hard to cope with this, but your advice has helped out put some things into perspective. I'm not ready to flat out break up with her, as I've shared a lot with her emotionally. I'm just gonna come to some family and see if I can stay with them. I realize now that I shouldn't stay with her since she's been ignoring social distancing. The conversation about my moving out won't be easy. I'll do it tonight. I'll update you all, and I'm grateful for the support. However, critical may be of my attitude about this. Also, I'm a girl, if that wasn't clear. Look, whether you're a girl and you're in a lesbian relationship with another partner, it does not mean that you should be treated that way. First of all, blaming yourself for your partner's actions is not the way to do it. You have to take into consideration that she basically forced your hand. You had no choice but to go and follow her because she was being sneaky. She wasn't open, she wasn't honest with you, and she wasn't telling you what was up. And then when you finally see what's happening, it's not pretty. So what do? You obviously leave her. You leave her and don't blame yourself. You tried everything you could. But at the end of the day, what more can you do? Someone's cheating on you by having orgies, especially during this quarantine. Who knows if you might catch the virus? She's not taking your feelings and your health into consideration. She doesn't care about you. She doesn't care about anyone but herself. And that's very, very disrespectful and self-centered. So my advice to you, kick her to the curb, worry about yourself, and fuck her. But that's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And yep, catch you in the next one.